So I have my brush, I have a bucket of water nearby, I have a paint set that I'm gonna be using. Now my paint set has all these choices in it, but I'm only allowed to use certain ones. I shouldn't use orange, even though I like orange. I shouldn't use green, even though I like green. And I'm not gonna make purple. Those are secondary colors. Piet Mondrian always used primary colors and neutral colors. So I can use red because red is primary, yellow, blue, those are primary, but there's 3 colors here that I can also use that are not primary colors. I could use white, I could use brown, and I could use black. Those would be neutral. So I'm gonna get my brush ready. You can hear me cleaning it out in the water. I'm trying to make a lot of noise so you'll know I'm doing that. Squeezing out the extra water, and I'm gonna choose my first color. I think my first one I'm gonna go with is going to be red. So I'm going to load my brush. And what I need to do is, Piet Mondrian, he was very careful. So we've gotta think about something called craftsmanship. So with craftsmanship, I wanna do my job, but I wanna do a good job at it. So I'm gonna be very careful to go along the edges of the shape here. Once I've filled in the edges of the shape, once I've sort of framed that out, then I can actually move a little quicker and more freely to fill in the rest of the shape because I gave myself that place to stay inside of. I basically gave myself a border. Then I'm going to decide, okay, what's my next color gonna be? Could I repeat red? Could I use a new color? I think I'm gonna go with another primary color. So I'm going to use blue. So I'm loading my brush. And I like the idea of using it here in this big triangle. So again, I'm going to be very careful to go along the edge of my shape. So you can see I'm sort of using the tip of the brush. Then along here, once I've used the tip of the brush, I give myself a place that it's safe to stay inside of. That looks kind of scratchy. I think my brush is thirsty. And then I can move quicker. I can press down more with my brush, and then it will cover more space because this is quite a large shape to fill in. Then I will decide what is another color I want to use. So I can use primaries. My last primary color would be yellow. Or maybe I think I'm going to use a neutral color. I'm going to try using black here. It looks like the brush is kind of scratchy. It's like when your throat's scratchy, you need some water, you need some paint. Just don't drink any paint. So going along the edge here, and then I can fill it in quicker. Now, if you have a lot of water in your paint, you guys know that'll make it lighter, so it might be looking gray. If your black looks gray, but you want it darker, gray's safe because that's a neutral color, so we're still following the rules that we gave ourselves. But if you want it darker, you would do a second coat of paint without adding more water. See how that's getting much darker. Then I'm going to decide what are my other shapes going to be. I think I like the idea. I saw that Piet Mondrian, he would use white sometimes. For us, the paper's already white, so I think I'm going to leave that rectangle white, which means I'm going to choose another color. I think I'm going to go with a neutral color, so I'm going to paint this triangle brown. So again, you guys know, you're going to go along the edges. That's going to give you that place to stay inside of. I don't really have to go along the edge there on the edge of the paper. If I'm painting and I get a little paint on the table, that's okay. I have a messy mat down here to help me, but as long as you guys clean up after yourself, I think you're okay. So then I will fill this one in. So I'm going to keep painting this one, and I think my last rectangle up top is going to be yellow. So I'm going to continue working, and you guys are going to continue working on yours. So I look forward to seeing what you guys send me when you're done.